Hi guys, today we're just going to do a quick video on the proper use of the vacuum cleaner, certain hazards to look out for, and how to set up the vacuum cleaner correctly. So we'll start things off with the filters and the vacuum bag system here. So this particular vacuum and many others pretty much have the same sort of system. So we have two filters. So if you can see one at the bottom there, this one here, it's a good idea to clean this, pretty consistently, because if you let it go for too long, it will clog up with dust and will impact the suction power of the vacuum cleaner. So very important that that doesn't get overlooked. Next, we have our bag filter, which just sits inside the casing like that. As you can see, pretty straightforward. And then next is our vacuum bag itself. So this is where all the debris, dust and dirt is going to get collected into, so we can dispose of it once it's full and once we're done using it. So to install this, pretty straightforward. We just push it all the way to the bottom and then bring the edges around the outside like so. You can see that? Pretty straightforward. Next, we have the lid, which attaches to our hose. Now for this, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, you can orientate accordingly. So for myself, I'm right-handed. So I will put the hose on this side of the vacuum cleaner. And then the two clips either side, just like that. Pretty straightforward. Next, to don the vacuum cleaner, we've got three straps that are important. Obviously, these two straps here that sit over your shoulder. Like so. Obviously, if you need to adjust, you can adjust if it's taller, shorter, on what suits you best. And then finally, we have the waist strap. Now, with the waist strap, we want this to sit across our hips to distribute your load accordingly. So we're not loading up too much on our back, too much on our lower back. The weight's distributed evenly. So you can see that here, it fits quite snug. It's comfortable. It's not putting any strain on my lower back. Next, we have our floor tool. Connects to the hose. Pretty straightforward. Things to watch out for with the floor tool. If you have any holes or anything like that in the floor tool itself, it will affect the suction. So the first thing I would do, if you're not getting suction on the end of the vacuum, is check the pole for any defects. If you've got any holes, anything like that, it is going to impact the overall performance of the vacuum. So one of the things to watch out for. Some other things that can happen, you can get a bit of denting and stuff around these poles. Keep an eye on it. If you do get one that is a bit battered and a bit worse for wear, again, let's get this tagged out, sent back to the office, and a new one on site. So we're not using equipment that's faulty or not fit for use. Some of the hazards that you're going to encounter while using the vacuum, a big one is going to be a trip hazard. Obviously, these vacuum cleaners run up a power cord, and power cords can tend to be a trip hazard, especially when you're not facing it or have an idea of where that power cord is laying. So for good practice, we always encourage our cleaners to first plug in the cord, run out the lead to its full length, and then work with your face facing the cord, walking towards the outlet. That way you have the cord in your field of vision the entire time you're vacuuming. What we want to try and avoid is working away from the outlet, so we don't have any idea of the cord. And if we step backwards or pivot or anything like that, there is a chance that your foot will get caught up in the cord, and then you can have a potential trip hazard, which we're trying to avoid. Another hazard that we've got to keep in mind when we're using the vacuum cleaner is the cords themselves. Obviously, things like frayed ends, any cuts in the insulation, anything like that at all, take the cord out of service straight away. What we don't want to see is extension cords with any tape covering any cuts or anything like that. If it is cut, if it is damaged, broken, whatever, get it out of service, get a new one requested on site, talk to your team leaders, we'll talk to your contract managers. We don't use equipment that's not fit for purpose, especially not extension cords, because the hazards with that are very, very high, and we don't want to see anyone get injured or hurt whilst doing their job.